My name is Jodie Oliveira, and I'm a vocational case manager. I have a very sedentary job, and I came and found Josh because I am 52 and have been in menopause for a bit and really struggling with weight loss.
Okay. So this is huge, right? Because we're going to talk about your experience inside the program, but if you can do it at 52, then anybody below that number should be able to get off their butt and do it, right? Especially with the job that you have. You mentioned you're sedentary. How long have we been working together?
You and I've been working with Josh for 3 months.
Perfect. And then what are some wins that you've experienced inside the program?
Well, I have lost. I can't remember if I was in the 170s, but if as I recall, I was 188 pounds, and I'm now down to 163. So I lost 25 pounds in 3 months.
Ooh, there we go. Congratulations. That is amazing. So, what did you, yeah, what did you feel kind of helped aid in that journey?
I think that, of course, everything was integrated to make it work. But when I started working with Josh, his one-on-ones every week really helped. I really loved that there was an app with the exercises that I could do and then mark completed. It just sort of made it doable for me to plug away throughout my day on my exercises. Of course, the nutritional education, calories and macros. I had some introduction to that before, but just being able to see the meal plans and really weighing myself at night was something I'd never done before. To look at, for example, like I ended up cutting out cheese completely in our program, which is something that I ate like almost every meal. I had dairy, and I started to realize when I weighed myself at night that that was causing inflammation. And so everything was connected as far as I was able to get the education and then apply it in my daily life in a way that made it make sense to, it wasn't something I was just doing blindly and hoping for results. It was like, I feel a lot more empowered about how I can maintain weight loss. Um, and that was all because the program was so inclusive.
Perfect. Okay, so you feel you have a greater ability to keep this weight off on your own. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like I definitely feel like I got the education piece and then was able to apply all the things I learned to my daily life so that it's a lifestyle now, it's not a diet per se. It wasn't like, and I never really felt hungry or deprived as I went through the steps. It wasn't all at once, but yeah.
We came out of that valley of despair, right?
And that, yeah, there was a little bit of time where I wasn't really moving on the scale. I was still losing inches, but I was feeling pretty, I guess, yeah, the valley of despair. And it was just helpful because Josh, you were there to like explain to me what that was. You had a name for it, that this is a common thing that happens after 6 or 8 weeks of weight loss. You sort of plateau sometimes. And when you first said like have a cheat meal, I was like, what? But it really did work as far as learning. That's the other piece I really enjoyed from this program is learning the stress and the mental health aspects, because anxiety and anxiety was a new thing that I'd been experiencing with menopause, really, and had never really had experience with that kind of mental fogginess and stuff like that. So learning to focus on my mental health and having gratitude and having some better practices for morning routines and evening routines, I think it all contributes for sure.
Okay. And so to go into that, right? What did you feel like before the program?
Before the program, I was just like making stuff up as I went along on a day to day, kind of guessing. I was successful at like going from 200 to 188, but I knew that I was, mindlessly buying stuff on Amazon for weight loss or menopause. Just, it was an investment to work with Josh. But if I look at like how much I was spending on stuff that I wasn't even sure was working, um, it just made sense. I got a lot of return on my investment. Like I really benefited in ways that will last me a lifetime now.
And yeah, that is the main reason of why I even created this is so that you are empowered to go off on your own and take the tools that you learned forever, not just for a couple of weeks just to put it back on, right? So
Exactly.
what what do you feel like you learned about yourself during our time together?
Um, the biggest thing I learned is that I had the belief coming into this program that I just didn't have enough time as a single mom, working a
Mm,
bunch of different jobs, that I didn't really have time to eat well or work out in my day to day. Like someday I would have the time to focus on my health. And really, the way the program was broken down for me with Josh is like bit by bit, it was completely doable. And it taught me that I do have an extra half an hour here or an extra 40 minutes there. And sleeping better so that I didn't feel so tired all the time was a huge one too. There's lots of different little ways that I could manage implementing a better lifestyle for weight loss right away. Like it wasn't something I have to wait until I retire or something.
and that has become a very common thing that I see is I'll find the time where I'm too busy and it's like a tomorrow thing and then tomorrow never comes and it's like, oh my God.
I have to go off to like a fat farm and, spend thousands of dollars at some retreat. And, like those things are great. And I'm
Hmm.
not talking down on them, but realistically, it just wouldn't have happened for me. And I think that those types of things never really get applied. Like I would come back from that, something like that, and maybe just be gaining it all back because I wouldn't have had the lifestyle change that I do now.
Okay. And then why, because we touched on little bits and pieces here and there, why do you think this program actually worked for you versus other things that you've tried?
Because again, like I love the app, the coach
Mhm.
app, and
Okay.
the little the workouts were broken down in such a way that I was able to realistically fit that into my lunch hour.
Mm.
And you and I talked about my day in hour by hour and broke it down as far as like, okay, well, how can you make this work? Because when I first started working with you, I was like, I just feel like I have no time. And it's always somebody smarter can look in on your own life and point out like, oh, you have this spot here, get up an hour earlier, however it ends up working. So it was really good.
Okay, perfect. And I like to ask that question because everybody says something different. Either it's the accountability or the nutrition. So the app, the workouts, and how we set it up for you. That was pretty helpful. And just a couple more, right? So if you could go like a little thought experiment, if you could go back in time, right? What would you say to yourself before joining the program?
Don't have any doubts about spending this money. It's completely 100% going to be worth it.
Boom, there we go. Cool. And then if to kind of tie that into someone else, right? If someone else was watching this and they were kind of on the fence about joining, what would you tell them?
um I mean, everybody's different, but if they were asking for my advice, I would just say, working with Josh was extremely empowering, and he really had an ability to be kind and patient. But was able to be firm enough to push through areas where I felt like, the valley of despair, for example, or and there's flexibility on days where if I missed my workout, I could make it up, or when I went camping. So it was just all the way around. It's a really good experience that helped me to feel like I can be in control of my weight.
Perfect. Okay. And I appreciate that. Can we repeat one more time how much weight you've lost?
So I lost 25 pounds in 3 months.
Ooh, I just wanted to hear that number again. So that is, again, that is a massive accomplishment, because a lot of people out there think losing 10 pounds or 15, even 20 pounds is just like I don't, that's impossible. Right. And,
Yeah,
and now it sounds like not only have we learned how to do this, but we have the tools that we need to keep, not to keep making progress. Right.
absolutely.
I love that.
100%.
So Jodie, I just want to thank you for our time together. I know, yeah, we've had some ups and downs. We made it past them, right? We had some vacations, and we were still making progress. And now, your activities outside of just working out has improved. Like your surfing has improved. Just like it sounds like the whole quality of life has definitely gotten better. And I just want to say it's been a pleasure working with you. Your energy has been great, and it's been amazing. So I look forward to hearing the success that you make in the future, whether it's with me or someone else. And then I just wish you best of luck on the rest of your journey.
Thank you, Josh. Thank